All right, brother. We are live.
We're live.
We are live. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm actually doing great, actually. I made a decision that language is the most important thing in the world, so no more good. Compared to a few billion other people on the planet, I'm doing fantastic. So I decided to preface that correctly. And so is almost anyone watching this with an internet connection.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? Perspective is everything, right?
Everything.
All right, so guys, welcome my guest, Michael Burnoff. As you're coming on, do me a big favor, say hello in the comments. I'm going to just go ahead and warn you right now, every single person that comments in the comment section is going to win something from us today.
Love it.
Literally every comment is going to get something in the mail from us today, starting with these amazing
Nice. I love it.
Shirts, right?
I love it.
I literally need to be a brand ambassador for you.
I think you are. I mean, between average sucks and decision maker, you live in these things and they're comfortable.
If you go look at half of my Instagram, every fucking picture of me is either in this shirt or the shirt you have on.
Yeah.
So,
I have 30 black ones in a row. My whole closet is suits for events and then average suck shirts.
you know what's funny is if you go look at Ashley Randall, who was on here a couple days ago, if you go look at like her Instagram, I gave her a few of your shirts and she wears the average sucks all the time anyway.
That's awesome.
So
forward that over to me. I want to introduce myself. So yeah, forward that over. That'll be great.
yeah, I absolutely will. So again, every single person that comes on, you are going to win something, or I shouldn't say come on, that comes on and comments and goes into the likes and hearts buttons and starts lighting it up for us here, right? Kind of spreading the message, letting Facebook know that we are live. If you will help play with us, we're going to give everybody one of these shirts, right? And I know that kind of help spread the word, which, by the way, that's a great place to start here, right? I mean, basically, your two mottos, which, you know, kind of coincide directly with what you know that I believe that the time is now. I think this is a great place for us to kind of start, right? I mean, at the end of the day, everybody that's here is a decision maker. They have the capabilities of deciding what their future looks like, and it's probably been no better time than right now, or more important time than right now, to make the right decisions and get in the right mindset. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, right now, that's really all it comes down to. I mean, I was talking to you about this prior, that 2 weeks ago, it was like, what do I do? Now we're here, we're dealing with it. And now my question is, where do you want to wind up? And where do you want to wind up? A lot of people are asking, how do we get back to normal? And my desire is normal gets you back where we're at right now. So the last thing in the world, didn't we learn our lesson with the DeLorean? You go back in time, you wind up here again. So if we want to get beyond this, we need to make some decisions that put us beyond this. Amen,
baby. I have no interest in getting back to normal. I am bound and determined to come out of this. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm trying to compress what I thought was going to take the next 5 years of growth and compress it down to the next 6 to 12 months, because I truly believe that's the opportunity that's in front of us.
Yes. And one of the biggest things as entrepreneurs right now, everybody watching this, investors, entrepreneurs, real estate agents, people in the mortgage business, lenders, right now, the majority of your competition is taking a nap.
Amen.
And if you understand sports, and I study sports psychology a lot, we'll sit front row to the Coyotes. I'm a big Rangers fan. We'll get tickets at the Garden. We can tell which team is going to win prior to the game based on their attitude and based on how they are during the national anthem. Literally, I've got this down to 80%, because you can tell who's on and who's not. In 2 seconds of not on, the other team is going to take advantage of it. So right now, we've got 80% of the world watching Fox, watching CNN, watching the news, obliterating their unconscious mind with negativity, slowing themselves down. A lot of bad stuff's happening. But the question is, do you want to live there, or do you want to do something about it? That's the big piece of the puzzle that I got to ask you.
No doubt, brother. I mean, I've been telling all of my real estate tribe, you can count on your competition's mediocrity.
Yep.
I mean,
guaranteed.
Simple, right? And you can count on it just as much as I can count on the sun rising up tomorrow and setting tonight, right? I just know what my competitors are going to do. And, you know, this event is a perfect illustration of it, right? I mean, if you think about it, you and I talked about this event kind of behind the scenes. We're texting and calling each other. And at the end of the day, most of my competition is just asleep at the wheel, and there's this huge vacuum. And I'm like, what the fuck is everybody doing, man? Let's go. Let's step
Exactly.
right?
I think the biggest challenge we're dealing with now, the biggest challenge, like I said a couple of weeks ago, was what do I do? Now the biggest challenge is how do I not take a nap? And you gave me a gift, Kent. You probably didn't even mean to say it, but I got to give you some major dad credit and some major business credit. You said my kids are home because I said Tara's coming home from college, my oldest, and you said everybody's got their assignments. So I literally took that, I added to it because I'm a quick start, and I said, all right, Maya, she's 8, and I said, Maya, here's the plan. My friends in California are doing it too. You got 4 rules in the house. Everybody gets their work and their homework done. We do family time. We have fun and we help out around the house. And I sold her on that for a week before her older sister came home. The whole crew in the family is dialed into this. And if we take that from our families, we took that to our business, to our team, to your lenders, to your family, to your friends, to the other people you're doing business with right now. I'm going to tell you, if all of us can treat the people that are closest in our life and make a very simple set of rules right now, you're going to get ahead in a big way.
There's no doubt. Well, dude, let's take a step back here because we haven't done a proper introduction. I mean, I take it for granted that my tribe knows you so well because I send so many people, you know, I talk about you all the time and
vice versa.
Right. I know you do the same for me. So why don't we take like 2 to 5 minutes and basically give everybody your story, kind of let them know what you do, how you do it, how you got here, all that stuff.
Okay. Well, I'll keep it real simple because I know a lot of you are watching a lot of stuff right now. So I'll keep it entertaining and simple for all of you. I am like every single one of you that's watching this right now. I've been a person that wanted more in my life and somebody that truly desired to get from where I was to where I wanted to go. The challenge is I didn't have all the resources out there at my disposal. So currently right now, if I'm going to backtrack, I own a company called the Human Communications Institute. For the last 17 years, we've been believing one very simple thing, that communication is the most valuable asset that we have as human beings and the most underutilized asset we have to getting what it is that we want, whether it's sales, whether it's influence, whether it's relationships, whether it's intimacy, whatever it is that you want in your life, communication is the biggest thing. And my background is very similar to everybody watching this. I'm a big ambassador of, like Kent said, The Average Sucks. That's our brand. It's my brand new book that came out, which I'm super excited about right in the middle of this chaos. My book's coming out in about 30 days, which the only copy is sitting behind us and 1,000 of them down there in the office. And I'm a guy that grew up with a challenge. And the reason I call it a challenge is I don't have that really cool story of, you know, growing up homeless or broke or missing legs or, you know, growing up with a disease. Those stories inspire me. Like when I listen to David Goggins about growing up getting beat down, it's inspiring. And I definitely don't have that story about Bill Gates was my dad or Donald Trump was my dad or my dad was Warren Buffett. I grew up with the biggest challenge that I believe all human beings have. And this has been my driving force. I grew up middle class. And what that means is I grew up very, very average, where my parents trained me to be okay. And they taught me in business, in life, the life of business, because they weren't business owners, to work hard and to be a good person. And I applied that to business and fell on my face massively. So it wasn't until I had a couple of mentors that came along the way that showed me that working hard is great and you need that. But there's certain things that successful people do that you're not doing, Michael, that your entire tribe of the middle class are not doing if you want to get there. And when I finally uncovered what that was at a young age, I was lucky to become successful, make millions of dollars in my early 20s. One of the things that I realized is nobody's teaching this stuff. So I made it my life's mission for the last 17 years to teach human beings all over the world how to use influence and communication to literally get anything that you want. And that is the 2-minute story of my life. And normally I don't talk about myself that long, and I ask usually what you guys want. And I'd love to serve and help on how we can get you through what's going on. Because Kent, I've been through this 3 times, man. September 11th, I had a business, got my ass kicked to learn my lesson. 2008 and 2009, I was ready. I told myself never again. So when this rolled, I realized, I looked my wife in the eyes and I go, I bet there's not one human being on earth that's saying, I wish I had an extra bottle of wine a week ago. I wish I would have went to dinner one more time. I wish I would have went on one more vacation. I think everybody's saying to themselves, I wish I would have read one more book, saved more money, went to Starbucks one less time, put myself into investments that paid me well. And I think the world really wishes they could have went back in time. And my desire right now is to make certain that all of you not only get through this, we get past this in style and as easy as possible.
Well, let's talk about it. All right. I mean, that's the entire point of this is that, again, guys, as you're coming on, do me a favor, say hello over in the comments. I'll reiterate it. Every single person that comments between Michael and myself, we're going to send you either the Average Sucks or which is the shirt he's got on.
Decision Maker.
or the decision maker shirts, right? Which I love them both. Like I was saying earlier, I mean, I need to get paid how much I wear those.
Well, they're good advertising pieces. Somebody stops you and they're like, what do you do? And like, hey, I'm a real estate investor. And then boom, it starts business. Like people, the right kind of people stop you with these shirts on. It doesn't say loser. It says average sucks.
Well, the best part about it is the only people that stop me are other Michael Burnoff freaking disciples, man.
Well, that's hilarious. And there's so many of them out there in California. So you're going to get stopped a lot.
Like, Burnoff. I'm like, okay, I get it. You know, not Burnoff, but close friend.
I love it. I love it.
He's about 18 inches taller than me. Don't worry. Okay, so let's start. How are you training your tribe, right? You have a massive following. You got a lot of people out there. I'm sure you're doing a ton of these types of events, right?
Yep.
Let's start there. What's the message? How are you training them? What are the very practical steps you're giving people right now?
Okay, biggest thing right now is you've got to understand how your brain works. And number one is there's two things I want to share with everybody. Is my first book's Average Sucks coming out. My second book that I haven't written yet is called How to Market to Yourself. And the reason I want to come up with that is I believe that the media, instead of getting mad at them right now, we could learn a really, really valuable lesson. They are using language in a way to impact us and impact our decisions. So one of the biggest things that I'm teaching right now is that you've got to control the marketing message of what's going on right now. And you've got to control how you're communicating with you. And what I mean by that, if I were to explain that in a very, very simple nutshell, is that I watched the governor of California basically say, please, I don't even know his name, stay home. We don't want to get the police out. We got this. You're good people. You got this. Immediately, within seconds, the media goes, lockdown. He never said lockdown. Half of the world is saying, I'm on quarantine. You are not on quarantine. Here's who's on quarantine. If you just came back from Spain or you had some of your neighbors were sick, you may be on quarantine. But me, I'm not on quarantine. I've been asked to stay home. The word quarantine is scary as shit. And what I mean by that is it makes you go, and so here's the way the brain works, Ken. And I know you know this. It's primitive. It's old school. So I work with people on abuse, challenges. I've helped you and your wife's very dear friend get over a challenge of heights and issues she had in decision-making. So what happens is people have a brain that is designed to make you obsessed with problems. Biggest reason why you drive down the freeway and you look at a wreck, number one is you thank God it's not you. And two, your brain's like, hey, we want to make certain that doesn't happen again. So what I'm going to encourage all of you to do is to think about right now, how are you marketing to yourself what's going on? So for me, I'm electively staying home because it's an intelligent thing to do for my family and the people around me. With that emotion, it allows me to think clear. Number two, I'm not looking to get back to normal. A lot of people want to get back to normal. I'm saying it is time to get beyond this. I'm also saying to myself, as I'm marketing to myself, because the biggest reason people get stuck right now is you can't see on the other side. So what I'm doing with my tribe right now, Kent, is I'm asking this billion-dollar question. And here's the question. Kent, when this is over 90 days from now, and we're looking back at how we got through it, what is the first thing that you're going to do 90 days from now when you're just free to do what you want? What's the first thing you're going to do, Kent? I'm just asking you right now.
Oh, you're asking me, like literally, right? All right.
Yep.
So in 90 days, what's the first thing I'm going to do is probably take my family either on a trip or take them, to a restaurant. Just do something to get them out of the house.
Very good. Okay, very good. Now, some of you can still do things outside of the house. So some of your actions you can do now because you have a different setup than maybe California does. So maybe the thing is to do it now. Number two is having the conversations about what you're interested in doing creates a new neural pathway. Most people don't recognize that fear is such a dominant force. Now, Ken, I don't know. I know you got a very intelligent audience. I wanted to give them some insight. And I mean, no disrespect when I say this. I don't know if every one of you knew the media, it's for profit. Their desire is to sell advertising. I don't know if everybody knew that. I know I'm just joking right now, but literally they are raking in the bucks right now. They are making a killing because my mom and all her friends are staring at the news, figuring out who's on a ventilator, who's not on a ventilator, who's scared, who's locked down, who's got what's going on. So the point is, why I'm bringing this up is that the media understands attention. So you've got to be really clear. And I've been giving my tribe 9 minutes a day to watch the media. Anything more than 9 minutes, I'm not going to talk to them anymore. We're not friends anymore. We're done. I don't want you to contaminate me with your thinking. So if you don't like that, it's okay. We're not hanging out anymore. 9 minutes a day, not 10. 10 can become 20. 9 is the point. In 9 minutes a day, like September 11th, Kent, I don't watch the news. I didn't watch what was going on. My roommate at the time woke me up and told me. Anything bad enough, somebody's going to tell you. So I'm just telling you, folks, somebody's going to tell you, someone's going to inform you. Stop looking for tragedy. If tragedy shows up, let somebody tell you.
Well, you know, we had John Assaraf on here the other day, and he made a great point, which is very much in the same line with what you're doing.
Love John.
When you do that, you're literally training your brain at a subconscious level to start looking for more of it because it wants to create some quick connections.
Solutions.
Right.
Solutions. And that is the big thing. Problems create problems. Solutions create solutions. So I've been telling everyone they really got to decide how they're going to market this plan to themselves. Like, how are you going to market what's going on? And Ken, I know this is bad what's going on, but I just think it's really bad in contrast because I believe the world has been taking a nap for 8 years. I mean, chapter 2 of my book is the death of adversity. I have to make a hidden chapter. And the reason is when we were kids growing up, you had to wait 2 weeks to get something. Nothing was in stock. There was no Amazon. You know, you played with the backyard. Like for 8 years, I think everybody forgot. I remember being in Memphis right in the middle of everything getting better again and training and working with your team at Memphis Invest. And I'm like, it's good right now. We have to remember, no different than Israel says, we can't forget the Holocaust. We can't forget the bad times. And we have to remember right now where we came from. The reason this is hurting worse than ever is the last 8 years. I'm not saying we got lazy, but we got comfortable as people and especially as entrepreneurs. And we're a little nudged right now. It's a little bad right now. It's got some problems right now. Shit sucks right now. There's some issues right now. But it's even worse if you realize how easy it was 6 weeks ago. And if you level it out, it really isn't that bad.
It's not that bad. And to your point, it is all through the lens that you look at it. Now, I don't want to make light and I don't want to imply in any way, shape, or form that we are not acknowledging that there's real things going on.
Bad stuff. Bad.
Right? People are losing jobs. People
are dying. It's not good.
Yeah. But to your point, right? People do die every day. Tragedy does happen every day. Things happen, but we are highly sensationalized because we now walk around with the news in our pocket. Where if something happened in Spain, just 10 years ago, it would take days, if not weeks, for us as regular people to even hear anything about it. Right now, we're hearing about it in less than 5 seconds. Right? It's literally notifying us on our phone.
Yep.
That plays an impact on the information that's coming in at us. And we just get, there's just so much so fast. And so to your point, you're going to get a lot more of what you look for. If you're looking for that kind of information, like you just said, more than 9 minutes a day, we can't be friends because as much as there is absolutely a lot of negative stuff and bad stuff going on in the world, you also must, as entrepreneurs, you have a responsibility to your family, to your future, to your kids, to your community, to your friends. You have a responsibility to be a leader. You have a responsibility to step up, to do the right thing, to take advantage of opportunities that are inevitably going to land in your lap if you are perceptive enough to take advantage of them and take action in the moment, right? I mean, I know we're on the same page here.
Yeah, it's literally the story right now isn't above a motivation. It's a simple concept. I mean, you got this nailed, Kent. And if everybody can hear back again Kent's words, let them ring in your head one more time. Biggest thing we got to do right now is acknowledge what's going on, accept it, accept reality. It is what it is. Number 2 is we got to manage our situation and manage up. Like we could be at this for 60 days, 90 days. I don't know, but I'm also going to tell you that you have so much of the greatest asset in the world that you did not have months ago. And I see the time is now right here on your wrist, Kent. Yeah. And I see it all over your body. And I will tell you, you all have been given 20 to 30 hours a week back from commutes are not happening. Less people you're meeting with, you're using Zoom and the phone rather than meeting with people face to face. You're not spending 2 hours at a dinner out. I'm not watching hockey even at fast forward at 45 minutes, a 3-hour game in 45 minutes. I have 2 to 3 hours every day that I have an opportunity to learn things that I didn't understand before, whether it's getting better at investing, whether it's building a list, whether it's doing the things that need to happen. I'll tell you, Ken, if this was 1972 and our families and our friends just got back from Vietnam, some in a body bag and some came back, had some deformities or challenges or Agent Orange or whatever was going on, we'd be looking at this as a wonderful experience right now to take a break and be with our families. Everything's in context. So this is a 2020 problem. 1972, the world would have said, thank you, Corona. I appreciate this. This sucks, is bad. But man, if this slowed down Vietnam and our boys can come home, this is wonderful. So I'm just telling you, I'm not here to be a politician right now. I'm saying that there are 2 billion people on this planet that would thank God every day to have your life, every one of you, a roof over your heads if you have one, an internet connection, an iPhone, a Samsung product, to be with your family more often, because 2 billion people on this planet do not have that right now. They do not have what you have.
You know what, baby? That is a freaking great point, right? We've talked about this a lot privately, that you know, being grateful for the problems that you have is a huge weapon.
Yep.
Mentally, right? Thanking God that these are your problems. Like, let's just think about it. Your problem is that you got to sit at home right now. Your problem is that you have an opportunity to spend time with your family. Your problem right now is that you get the opportunity to take time and invest in yourself and learn new skills. Maybe even, you know, all right, great. You were a server, you were a gym owner, you were whatever the case may be, right? You're sitting at home. You can't do anything right now. You know what you can do is stuff like this. Learn a new skill. There are plenty of people like myself that are literally offering to teach people free how to go and buy and sell real estate, right? Anywhere in the country. And I mean, I know that you just did a huge call to action I know you opened it up, right? Tell us what you did there.
Yeah. And so what happened is right as this went down, Kent, Deborah and I looked at each other and we basically said to ourselves, we got to help some people. And for the last 17 years, we've been doing a teleseminar, not even Zoom. It is the greatest way. Zoom is great for transformational work. Just straight into the brain auditorily is one of the greatest gifts you can give people. It's like right in their brains. So we've been doing this from home for years. So what we did is we said, we want to help a lot of people. So we opened it up. We gave away call to action, no fee. It's a $600 program, no fee for anybody that wanted it. 300 people enrolled in 45 minutes. And we went in triage mode. We were like on the phone, hey, are you serious about it? If you're not, screw off, we'll take someone else. And so we opened this up for a week or two. And we believe if we were to EKG the internet, that 2 hours a day for 5 days that people were home, we even said, put your kids in front of Netflix if you have to be on this thing and work on it, was the most empowering, positive place on the internet for 5 days straight a week ago. The results we got out of that were amazing. People were getting more done in the time at home than they have in years. So we wanted to open that up through the rest of till April 15th. We want to still give that away for free. If anyone's watching this, if they want to take that, I'd love to serve them with that.
We hadn't even talked about it, but how do they get signed up?
All you got to do is go to theactioncall.com. If they want to type that in, theactioncall.com.
Put it in the comments, right? So it's
with a THE, actioncall.com. They can also just go there, use the code FUTURE, because we want to work with people that want a compelling future. And there's no hidden agenda or anything. It's literally give, because I'm a guy that serves and helps people. This has been the greatest realization, Kent, to me, is that this is what I'm supposed to do, and I'm doing it more than ever right now. So
this is our moment. And quite frankly, anybody that's on here, this is your moment. And I think that's probably that. And we're gonna shift gears and go to that in just a second. But I think that you know, where I was going earlier with the comment is that there's so much opportunity right now while you're sitting at home to educate yourself and collapse time effectively. Like, you know, in my world, going through my course, 21 modules, you know, it's one of 11 that I've got, but that one course realistically, when you've got a full-time job, would probably take you a month, right? Now you can do it in 4 days, right? And so you get to collapse time, get results faster. And I'm just one guy. You're just one guy. There's so much information out there. And there's so many people that have come on here. There's so much information out there that you can get the skills you need. This is a chance to accelerate your growth and come out of this so much better if you have the right perspective. If you go into it, you know, with kind of that, you know, you've heard me say it, right? That victim mentality versus victor, you're fucked. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know. You guys know me. I'm raw and uncensored.
That is clinically speaking, fucked.
Yeah, you're clinically speaking. I think that's exactly, you have to look it up, but that's exactly what you are. I mean, you can absolutely crush the game right now. And the best part is the very first thing you talked about, is that your competition is asleep at the wheel.
Yep.
Right. So here you guys are puttering along together. And while they sit there and fall asleep, this little growth that you would go through in the next 2 weeks, it's exponential, right? Because they're not doing shit, right? They're pulling back on their marketing. They're retracting, they're conserving, they're trying to figure out how to survive. And you guys are investing time here and other places to figure out how to thrive. And that's just a massive difference.
I'll tell you this, Kent, this thing right here, this is the most valuable asset we all have.
No doubt.
And even if it's connected to a cord or a phone, We have found in our company, there is a 70% higher pickup rate of the phone right now because people are at home and they're lonely. And we basically just went back to 1994 again. That's where we're at as a world right now with Zoom. And people are picking up the phone. And one other frame that I was going to give you, Kent, is a lot of us feel bad for our kids, and we might, because my daughter can't finish college, and my 8-year-old can't go back to school and be with her friends, and grandpa can't come over and grandma can't come over right now. Yet became who we are. All the successful people I know that I watched in life, people like yourself, people that have been through things, the ups and the downs, it's a little something called adversity. We're teaching our kids challenges right now, adversity, how to deal with things. That's the whole point of college, is to teach adversity, how to take classes you don't want to take, how to deal with professors that don't speak English well, that you don't understand, how to get through groups and different things. Why I'm telling you this is the greatest gift that's going to come out of this is for our younger generation, if we train them correctly, because they don't, thank God they don't have World War II to deal with, or Vietnam or Korea. They got the coronavirus, and they're dealing with adversity. They are going to become stronger, because as human beings, the only way to get good at anything is to get kicked in the face, to get knocked down, to get beat up. And my daughter, it's challenging right now. She's my little one, and my older one too. It sucks. But if we can guide them, we can make this world a better place than it is. So instead of going, oh man, it sucks, my kids are homeschooling. Well, maybe you could learn how to have a relationship with your kids so they don't wind up with mommy and daddy issues later. Maybe you can work on your relationship. Maybe you can help out teaching your kids how to be better people, and we could be stronger. So when they go back to school in August or whenever it is next year, September, to whatever part of the world is, you've got tougher, stronger kids. Some of the greatest athletes are going to get built right now on basketball courts and on backyards and swimming and push-ups, and kids are going to come back as different human beings in August. And I'm so excited to watch my daughter come back sharper, smarter, dealing with stuff in a different way. So you parents out there, hopefully you're getting that right now.
You know what's so funny, dude, is you mentioned that, and it's the subtle things like that. When you're a high achiever, you know, and I'm not going to make any excuses, but when you go hard and you're really passionate about something, you miss some things, right? And it just happens, right? You're going 150 miles an hour. And especially, you know, as much as I try to talk about that, I want my kids, you know, to have to struggle, et cetera. And I try to be very disciplined with them. But I had missed some things, and this was a really good opportunity for me to notice. And I'll give you a really good example of this. So we have somebody that comes in once a week and cleans the house, right? We have a maid that shows up every week. And of course, with this, we're like, no, nobody's coming in the house. Literally, nobody's coming in the house, right? And so it was actually kind of cute. But on Sunday, we started, Seema and I were like, all right, we got to, the kids, everybody's got to pitch in now, right? You know, now we got game nights. Now there's no takeout. We're not going to restaurants. We're eating at and everybody's got to do chores. Everybody's got to clean. Got to wash their own clothes. Everybody's going to have to clean on their own bathroom. And literally, my 14-year-old like, I don't know how to clean a bathroom. I don't know what that is. And I'm like,
you're about to learn.
I'm like,
Cameron, you're about to learn.
I'm like, we missed something, right? We didn't. And I'm like, all the things that as I was growing up, I mean, I had to iron my own clothes. I had to wash my own clothes. Certainly my parents did a lot of stuff for us also, but these are things that I learned, right? We didn't have maids that come in our house or any of that shit. And so it's a really good opportunity to your point, to kind of get your kids dialed in and show them some of the stuff, especially those that, you know, you may have missed a few things along the way. Getting discipline in their life, getting them homeschooled, doing these things are good things. They're not bad. They're good opportunities. That's, if nothing else, that's an amazing silver lining. My kids and I, we're now doing board games and card games every night.
Yep.
When I get home, and I'm like, I mean, normally I would not slow down to do this stuff on a very consistent basis. But I mean, I'm walking in the door. My kids are like, all right, are we playing spoons? Are we playing Monopoly? What are we doing tonight, right? And
nice.
I love that, right?
We've got a 3-day version of Monopoly. My daughters, I live in your house basically too. They got that, what is it called? The Miss Monopoly, which is, it was an unequal, because it's been unequal it was just crazy. So it's like they get 240 for passing go, I get 200. And there's the only chance they're going to get to beat me right now. But we've been playing for 3.5 days straight. We've been playing Monopoly at night for an hour, and the jokes and the laughing. I'm getting to know my kids better than ever right now.
I love that. All right, so let's switch gears here for a minute here, brother. Let's talk about leadership.
Yep.
And so I want to talk about, again, you work with a lot of very, very high performing people, CEOs from from Fortune 100 companies all the way down and all the way up that ladder, right? And professional athletes, et cetera. You speak in front of hundreds of thousands of people in a year. Let's talk about some of the leadership qualities and the way people can, and what they need to be doing right now inside of their businesses, inside of their life. I mean, we talked about some of it, but I really want to talk in a very practical way. Like, this is what leadership looks like right now.
Well, leadership looks like this right now for the most part. It's serving others. That would be the number one thing. So the first thing, almost everyone I talked to, including you, said, okay, let's decide if we have to, this is backtracking right now, that if I don't make any money for 90 days, what will I do? First thing you do is say that. He goes, what would I do if I had inability to do that? And I'm not saying do that, because every one of you should be going out there making money and hustling and doing what you need to do. First thing we did is I said that, and a lot of the high performing people are saying that. If we cannot do that, what do we do? Then we say, okay, that's not going to be true, because we're going to find a way to make money. We're going to find a way to help people. The first question is, what value can I bring to the world right now? I will tell you that the waiters and the waitresses and the people that are having challenges broke one of my mentor, Jim Rohn, who was my original mentor. I taught Tony Robbins. Jim, as a young age, I had my dad, and that was my business dad that taught me business and life. Basically said, you are paid for the value you bring to the marketplace. So my question is, what additional value do you have the ability to bring to people? The waiter that also has accounting skills can also bring accounting to people right now and help them with their SBA stuff. The waiter that has organization skills can do more stuff there. So the leadership that I'm asking all of you to bring out is, how much more value do you have to bring to the marketplace that you can bring? And part of it is making a note and asking that magic question, like, what can you do for the people around you? So we have several levels of leadership. We have our families. We need to learn how to lead, and leading is picking a direction, deciding to go there, and being able to be willing to be flexible along the way. So that was the big thing that I decided. If I cannot make money for 90 days, and if my business does not run like normal, what can I do to make this world better than it is? While you're working on making the world better than it is, financial opportunity will show up within a matter of seconds. It always does. The world rewards not only those in motion, the world rewards those that bring value to it. Every great company, Amazon is massive value. Elon Musk with the Tesla, massive value to people, making the world better. You got to realize that all the companies that are going to do well right now are value-based companies. So that's one of the big things, Kent, I would say, is just put a stake in the ground and go, we're going to be here for a little bit, and manage up what's going on. And then also making a list of what actions you need to take. That's where our call to action thing's been so helpful for people. What actions do you need to be taking that will make the biggest difference, and start knocking those off little by little or lot by lot?
Well, let's talk about a few here, okay?
Yep.
So one, I've been advising all of our clients. Number one, if you haven't already, you need to go through that exercise that Michael was just talking about, and you definitely need to look at what your business. Eddie and I went through this extensively with real estate worldwide, right? Like I said, we lost 25% of our revenue. We lost 50. We lost 75%. What does the world look like, right?
Yep.
We rallied our teams around us. We have not laid off one person. We rallied our teams around us and started what we call right sizing our company, getting it ready for the long haul, right? I believe that you have a responsibility as a CEO to not just be here for the next 90 days. You need to be here for the next 90 years, right?
Yes.
You're not going to do that by going broke in the next 90 days because you're not doing the right things to hold up, getting your company physically fit, right? And then, let's talk about the SBA loans, right? You and I have talked about it a little bit this morning. I mean, the bottom line is there's a lot of opportunity right out there. The government is willing to help you. If you guys I've talked to a lot of people that I work with, and they're just, again, asleep at the wheel. It's getting drowned out in the noise and confusion. Maybe they don't really understand that it applies to them, but literally every single person watching this right now, you have the ability today to go onto the SBA website and get a $10,000 grant at a minimum that you do not have to pay back for the companies you own that are getting impacted by this.
Yes.
I mean, that's huge. It's a lifeline. And then if you have employees, you have the ability to offset 2 months of your payroll and leases and mortgages and utilities and interest. I mean, look, if you're not paying attention, then you're not being the right CEO. And then last but certainly not least, Michael, what you were talking about is you got to lean in and figure out how you're going to bring value to not only your employees and your associates, but to the world at large, right? I mean, doing stuff like this, talking to your community, if you're in real estate and you're even a little bit hesitant. We had Lo Silva on here yesterday. If you're even a little bit hesitant about getting on social media and, what am I going to talk about? Just start fucking talking.
Yes.
Right?
Talk the truth. Talk what you're feeling. I mean, this is the time to grow. I mean, in your business, it was faxes back in the day, and it's letters. This is the time for you to sit at home and write handwritten letters to everybody in the neighborhood about investment properties or different types of things. I mean, here's the chance to get out 1,000 letters a day. This post office still has a machine that you can go buy stamps from if you're allowed to leave your house. You can get stamps.com at your house. Every one of you could be sending 100 letters a day. This is about attention and eyeballs right now. It's either Fox is going to get them, NBC is going to get them, or you're going to get them. Here's a chance to broaden your audience because people are home and you have their attention now. I'm just telling you, Ken, I built a formula for this that we deal with crisis management in the past because I go into companies that have shit going on. And we had a very simple 4 steps that we gave everybody. Number 1 is, I said it earlier, you got to acknowledge what's going on. Number 1 is you can't hide from it. You got to acknowledge it is different and the rules are changing quickly. Number 2 is you got to manage up quick, figure out your resources, call your credit card companies. Like I told everybody, every single credit card, and say, I got affected by this. What do you got for me? The lower interest rates, no payment, 60 days. Manage up, dumping out piggy banks, everything, getting it all on the table, managing your kids, managing all that stuff. And once that's managed, the next thing is, what actions do we need to take? As soon as you figure out the actions, you could start designing the future that you need. This is not the time to watch The Secret and talk about the future. This is the time to figure out what actions do you need to take to get the future you need. That same philosophy I was using 7 weeks ago to help a company that went through some legal battles and they were about to lose $80 million. Same challenge that you guys are having in those 4 things. So figure out what stage you're at. That's crisis management 101.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. By the way, guys, if you guys are finding this helpful, do me a favor. It's about a 30-second lag here, Mike. But
no problem.
That if you guys are finding this helpful, go in the comments and give us a hell yeah, give us a thumbs up. Let us know that you guys are finding this helpful. Equally, do me a favor, and anybody that has any questions for Michael, in addition to doing hell yeah, do me a favor and go in there and type in your questions for Michael. We've got him for probably another 10, 15 minutes here tops. And so it's a chance to get your questions answered directly. And as I answer them here, every single person that puts something in the comments, we have t-shirts here for you that will keep you in the right mindset. So, all right. So we've got, you have to acknowledge, you have to lay out the plan. We've talked about, what you need to do from an expense cutting standpoint. I even forgot to mention the whole thing that you mentioned about the credit cards, as well as all the mortgage companies, every credit card company, every mortgage company, What are the mortgage companies doing?
Most mortgage companies are basically saying 60 days or 90 days, no payments, no interest, no fees, nothing. We'll tack it on the back of the mortgage.
Wow.
Almost every one of them.
And you're recommending that across the boards?
I have a shit ton of rental properties, right? Okay. And literally every one of them have done that. Not one has not done that.
Wow. Okay. So you're recommending that across the boards?
100%. Okay. If you have any rental properties, if you have any, even your primary residence, pick up the phone and call them, right? Very similar conversation, Michael, that you told me to have with the credit card companies. It's the same exact conversation on that side.
Got it.
And they will all do the exact same thing.
Great.
And in fact, I was reading something yesterday where I believe that's going to be, I think they're about to do that where that's going to be federally mandated, right? Where they're basically going to do 90 days, tack it on the back. They're going to kind of slow up the entire, or they're going to make it where foreclosures cannot happen in the next 90 days, period.
So they're going to basically go in and do it for us?
What happened in 2008 is it got a little cluttered and confusing. Everybody kind of had different rules. They're going to try not to make that mistake here. They're basically going to say, Fannie and Freddie are going to say, if we are the ones that own the loans, which 85% of the loans are owned by them, they're saying this is the way it's going to be handled. Basically 90 days now, moratorium on foreclosures, and they will potentially extend that to even to 1 year where no payments, and tack it all onto the back end of the mortgage. Basically what they're trying to keep from happening is what happened in 2008, right? This huge flood. What they don't want to happen, I can tell you straight up, is they do not want a massive flood of foreclosures coming onto the market, because that has such a negative impact on the entire market, right?
Yes.
It doesn't just impact foreclosures. Every property in the neighborhood then collapses, and then it starts this whole other process, and that's what they're trying to for, because that would be like
that's disastrous.
Yeah, that's the triple whammy, right? Now we got the virus, now we got the economy shutting down, and
the
now
real estate
the housing market collapses, right? So they're trying to avoid that. So that's the reason why they're really getting serious about this. So again, we talked about a lot of these things and kind of keeping, bottom line, it's really challenging to look at how you want to come out of this on the other side if you don't understand where you are right now and what you're going to do in these scenarios, right? I mean, just allocating that brain bandwidth to where I don't have to think about that anymore, right? I need to start looking towards the future.
Yeah, I would look at this as a good scenario. I'd look at this like 90 days from now, you're going to be judged. Let's just talk about it. Everybody judges everybody. You're going to be judged on the things that you do right now and the way that you live, because when life goes, I'll say back to normal, but when life becomes what it's going to be 90 days from now, there's going to be new jobs assigned. Leader, successful person, wealthy person, happy person. So I look at it like the door of success is like getting into a nightclub in the 90s is $10 cover charge at the door. You have $1.10 right now. Are you willing to earn through your efforts and your work $9 extra? So when they say you can get into the club that you want to be in, you'll be allowed to get in. So I'm looking at this. I got the angel of death on both my shoulders saying, you better go if you want those things that you want. I look left, look right, don't look back. I don't want to look over there. And in front of me is light. And I'm basically saying to myself every single day, I am going to be judged 90 days from now from the actions that I take. I look at this like Schindler's List. It's like the people that did the right thing did the right thing. And I'm telling you right now, it's about doing the right thing. And I'm putting some heavy words out to everybody is that you take care of your family, you take care of your kids, you take care of yourself, you take care of your business, you leader up, you have the tough conversations with your team. I mean, Ken, I had a guy that owns a company that does a little under $1 billion a year in sales, called me out of the blue, hired me for coaching this week. I did it on the house. I've known the guy for a long time. The guy would have easily paid me 50, 100 grand for my time. And basically I worked with him and I said, you got to walk in the room and say, I own this company. I started this company and I know how to get us through this. All I'm going to ask you to do is to be on our team and help us do what needs to get done. I've been through this at these other times. I've been through it here and I know how to get us through it. And when all the chips fall and everything's rebuilding itself, there's going to be so much room at the big table for everybody here that wants it. And I helped him build a speech. He got a standing ovation. It was incredible. Everybody's willing right now to not take a pay cut, but willing to work 3 times as hard. And he's doing amazing things for them. He's sending them little meals to their house and different types of things. But that little thing, some of you, your team may be 2 people. And it's time that you say that to them. Your team may be you and your husband or wife. Someone's got to look somebody in their eyes and go, I got this thing. I got this.
Amen, baby. Amen. And we have an opportunity to show real leadership. And it's
real leadership.
Simple.
Not that fake leadership like 9 laws of this. No one's hearing from John Maxwell now. Where's he at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what it really looks like, right?
Yep.
I've said on multiple of these interviews here. I love the Warren Buffett. It keeps just running to my mind here. When the tide rolls out, it's real easy to see who's been swimming naked. I just keep thinking about it, right? And that's basically what's happened. It's real easy, right? To see who's been posing,
Yep.
And real leaders. This is your chance, right? And
they all disappeared, those people, Kent. I don't know them anymore. It's funny because I used to see their ads. They're not online anymore. All my competition that was pretending, they're gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's my point, right? You can count on your competition's mediocrity. It just is what it is. It's an opportunity for real leaders, people that are really passionate about their business, people who are really passionate about helping bring value to other people's lives. It's an opportunity for you right here. And I can tell you, like when John Ashraf and I were on here the other day, and then even you and I mean, all the high performers that I hang around with, yourself included, I mean, I don't want to say giddy, but we're almost kind of giddy. Like we've been waiting. This is our chance, right? This is our chance to go and seize the moment. And I just want people to understand that it's your moment too.
I'll tell you, Ken, I'm with you. For the last 4 years, and I must have had the conversation with you before, I said to myself, where's all my time go? What's going on? Why can't it be like it was in 2009 again? Like what's going on? Is it the internet? I could not figure it out. 2 days into this thing, I feel the best I've felt since 2010. And the reason I'm saying that, I don't know whether I'm on Facebook for the wrong reasons anymore, or Instagram. I don't know whether I got caught up in the rat race that I didn't realize that I was in, trying to impress people I didn't realize. That's not even my style. But I truly feel like a little kid again. Like I'm back. Like maybe I thrive. I was built for this. I say that all the time. I was built for this. but I'm built to survive. I'm built to make it. And other people are going to decide, is that what you're built for? So I truly feel more connected, more alive to myself than I felt in a decade, easily.
I totally agree, brother.
And it's freaky weird. And I don't feel uncomfortable saying, I'm like, I wonder if that'll offend people. And if it does, oh well. But everybody I say it to secretly looks at me and they're like, you know what, Michael, I'm not going to tell anybody, but man, I feel better also.
Yeah. Yeah. It's absolutely, I mean, it is, again, it's kind of John, and in fact, John and I were talking about it the other day, and I know you're on it's a weird dichotomy because there's almost like I feel a little guilty for being so excited about what's going on, but then the part of me is like, I was built for this. This is it. This is my chance, right? I owe it to my family. I owe it to my community. I owe it to this community to lead and show people exactly how they can make the most out of this. This is what I'm designed to do. And if you don't feel that way about your business right now, well, here's your wake up call, right? Take every one of these sessions, take what Michael's been sharing with you here and slap yourself in the face and say, it's time. Like, let's get into this, right? Hey, Michael, let me see if I got some questions over here.
Yep. I got about 5 minutes and I can answer questions and I'm quick.
Okay, Michael, are you guys aware of any resources groups that assist with the SBA? I am not aware of any groups that assist with SBA, Michael, but I will tell you tomorrow at 12 o'clock, I have Roland Frazier, my business partner, who is literally the smartest guy that you'll ever want. And he's going to that's going to be the entire presentation. We're going to walk you through step by step how to do this. So just tune in tomorrow for that. Any other questions here? John Astrap. There you go.
Hey, John. We've been talking about him.
We're all built for it. Now's the time to step up. Love it, man. Echoing our comments here perfectly. Really appreciate you. Any links to share of the resources you mentioned would be great. I'm not talking, I don't know exactly what resources you're talking about, but if you'll kind of list them out, I'd be happy to. All the resources will be in this group, and whether it's SBA, everything else will be in here. So, dude, I want to be respectful of your time. As always, you delivered like I knew you would. I appreciate
Thank you.
it. I love you so much. If there's anything I can do for you, just let me know. Tell Deborah I said hello. Take care.
I will. Right back at you. Appreciate you, brother. Love you.
Take care.
Take care. You got this, people.